So it's 2022 and I'm going all in on the iPad mini as my bullet journal. Now, I've been bullet journaling every year since about 2015. Here's my most recent one from 2021. And I noticed that after I'm done filling up a journal, I kind of just put it on my bookshelf and it sits there collecting dust and I never go over them. Now, I know that's different for everyone. Some people love going over their old journals, but that's just not me. So this is the year that I thought I would go all in on digital. I'm gonna break this video into 3 separate sections. The first is gonna be why even bother doing this. The second section is gonna be how do I plan on doing this? And the third section is gonna be a series of challenges that I hope will keep me true to sticking to the iPad mini. Now, I've linked all those sections down below, so if you get bored, you can just skip around, but yeah, that's it, let's get into it. Now, I've dabbled with going digital in the past, but I've never been able to stick with it because I'm a sucker for fresh ink on the page. But I've got to stop being a hopeless romantic about analog things. I used to feel the same way about reading physical books too, as opposed to Kindle books. Oh no, I could never. Oh my God, how could you? There's just something about the feel of a book. Yeah, I know, I was one of those guys too, and I can now say wholeheartedly, it's bullshit. You wanna know what's actually cool?
Knowledge.
No, but seriously, I'm usually reading for the story or for facts and figures, you know, knowledge. I'm not reading because I enjoy the feeling of a big clunky book in my backpack. Actually, looking at this graph, do you wanna guess what year I switched to the Kindle? I read way more books than I used to now, and I think it's 100% because of just how convenient it is to read a book. So the Kindle Paperwhite and the Kindle app in general is pretty much like Spotify to me. Like, sure, I have records and I have a record player, you know, I'm not above some hipster vibes, but when I get in the car at the end of the day or when I'm on the subway, I'm listening to Spotify. That's how I enjoy music. I'm not listening to a record player on the subway. Now, this video isn't about Spotify or the Kindle app or anything like that. I say all that to say I really need to embrace going fully digital. I'm hoping that switching to the iPad mini will have a similar overall effect to my productivity and organization that switching to the Kindle had for my reading habits. Now, how exactly will I do this? With this. Now, the last time I tried this was with an iPad Pro, and don't get me wrong, I love the iPad Pro. It was great for watching videos and stuff like that, but it's just a little bit too big. So the iPad mini in the new form factor was perfect for what I need. It fits in like basically all my backpacks, and it's really no bigger than a Kindle. So I'm gonna be doing this mainly using 2 apps. The first is called Notability, no surprises there. It's a pretty popular handwriting app. I've used it since college and it's the one I'm most familiar with. I know there are others, but I prefer this one. So this is just gonna be my dailies. I'm gonna have my lists up top, my 3 things I'm grateful for, my to-do list right here. I'll use it to take notes and everything like that. And pretty much anything that's important here, I'm gonna move over to my second app, which is another really popular one, Notion. So this is my entire Notion. If you don't know what Notion is, I'm not gonna get into it here. There are plenty of great videos of people explaining it way better than I can, but it's a really popular tool for pretty much anything. You can organize your life the way that I have here. I have a bunch of different pages or folders with different documents and notes in them. I've seen people host entire websites on Notion. You can have React apps in Notion. Like, it's really powerful, really cool, highly suggest checking it out. I have it for keeping everything from recipes that I need to meal plans. I have my entire creative section here where I just keep track of all the projects that I wanna do, that I'm gonna do, ideas for coding, YouTube, pretty much anything. Really cool app. But what I'm gonna focus on is the task and goals section right here, which is where I'm gonna spend most of my time. So up top, I have any task that I need to accomplish ASAP, as soon as possible, hence the name. And there's really no order to these. It doesn't belong in my dailies because it's not something I have to do today, but it's something that I do want to do within the next maybe week or 2. And I also have due dates all the way over here to the right, so you can see where I kind of land on what I want to do. Then if you skip down to 2022 goals, these are all of my goals that I have for the entire year. I want to accomplish all of these, hopefully, wish me luck. Moving past that, I split it up into Q1 goals, Q2 goals. I'm not gonna get too into detail here because if there's one thing I've learned from bullet journaling for so long is that this section really changes a lot depending on where I am in the next couple of months. But every 6 months, I'll go back in and reevaluate things, so that part can change. What I don't want to change too much is this 10,000 hours section all the way up top. And this is something that I put a lot of time into over the last couple of days. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 10,000 hours rule, which isn't really a rule, more like an observation, and it also might not even be true. I don't know. It's something that I like to think about sometimes. And basically what it says is that if you spend 10,000 hours doing something, you'll master it or you'll become really good at it. Again, not sure how true that is, but it's a cool thing to think about. So that's just what I titled this section. But it's a bunch of skills that I really want to learn this year, like JavaScript or coding or anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to my Notion setup. That and Notability is going to be how I'm going to replace my bullet journal, which is the main crux of this video. But now to the third section, which is the challenges. And this is pretty much how I'm going to try to keep myself accountable to actually using this setup throughout the year. So let me go explain that. So to help me stick with this, I decided to try and do something that Matt Diavelli used to do, which is 30-day challenges. Now, obviously that guy didn't invent the concept of a 30-day challenge, but I'm pretty sure his biceps did. Anyway, remember that 10,000 hours section from the task and goals that I just went over in Notion? Yeah, I'm gonna be doing all of those random skills that I listed. I currently have 6 things on that list that I really want to master this year. Now, I don't think I'll be able to do 10,000 hours for each item, obviously, but I would like to set a goal of maybe 50 or 60 hours per item. And I just named it 10,000 hours because it seemed like a cool, encouraging title. More likely, I'm gonna try to dedicate anywhere between 5 to 20 hours a week practicing that particular skill, depending on the skill, obviously. But I do wanna work on one skill every damn day, every week, for the entire month, no excuses. So if you want to keep up with the challenges and check in on how I'm doing, definitely subscribe. If you care to join me, please do. I have the Notion link down in the description, so you could just copy the whole thing into your own Notion book. Just replace the skills with whatever you want to do. Also, as I mentioned, I only have 6 skills currently in the list. Now, that's intentional because at the 6-month mark, I want to stop, reflect, and make sure that I'm actually completing these or see if there's anything going wrong. But yeah, I only have 6 right now, so if you have any suggestions that I can use for the latter half of the year, for the last 6, I'm all ears. Please drop them in the comment section down below. Just please make sure that it's something realistic that I can do, something I can do before or after work, seeing as I still have a job. But yeah, that's it. Okay, it's January 1st, 2022. Let's get started. I just have to turn this off.